Hi, Scott Lara 1961 on Twitter, day 7 of the Blake Shelton cruise. And today is, as I look at it's Saturday, October 20th, 2012, day 7 of the Blake Shelton cruise. You know what? It's so rare I get a balcony, and this is the great thing about a balcony right here, is when you're pulling into port, you don't have to go up on deck. You can just go ahead and go to your balcony and look. Now the only thing about a balcony that you got to keep in mind is if you have neighbors that smoke, and you know, if you're an avid non-smoker, you know that can kind of ruin it. But try and look over there. There's a Carnival ship over there. Let's try that. We got fogged up. Sorry about that. There's a Carnival ship right over there, astern of us to our starboard side, following us in. So it's going to be interesting to see who else is with us today in Nassau. Scott Lara 1961 on Twitter, on the Blake Shelton cruise, Norwegian Pearl. And I've got to tell you, this is a special shout out to Cruiseman 3000, a true brand ambassador for Norwegian Cruise Line. You know, the NCL Pearl, Norwegian Pearl, is a nice ship. I mean, 90,000 plus tons. I think it's around 2,800 passengers, double occupancy. And it's a nice ship. It really is. And you know, a couple things. You walk a certain way, and then you got to go down one, and then across, and that's because the galley is where it's located. So once you figure that out, where you're going, and then you got to stop and go a different way, it's okay. But pulling into Nassau here, it's around 8:45 a.m. What also has been interesting on this cruise for me is the short amount of time the ship has been in port. I know when I'm on Holland America Line, I mean, if you're at San Juan, Puerto Rico, you may pull in 1, 2 in the afternoon, but you're there till like 11 o'clock at night. So if you have family and friends in Puerto Rico, you have a chance to see them. Same way in St. Thomas, you're there for a good period of time. But it's been interesting to see that the Norwegian Pearl has not been in port long periods of time. And so I don't know what I'm sure there's a reason, la la la, but I'm just kind of disappointed about that. Let's talk about the food here on Norwegian Pearl. Kind of disappointed about the food in the main dining rooms. Very small portions, and just nothing really spectacular. Of course, they're trying to probably drive you to go to Cagney's and the Italian restaurant and the French restaurant and all these added cost restaurants. And I totally understand that. I mean, they're trying to. It's about the bottom line. I understand that, but I don't know. I did not spend the extra money to go to Cagney's. I did not spend the extra money to go to any of the added cost restaurants. So I will say, if you want to talk about a restaurant that costs extra, Pinnacle Grill on Holland America Line is just the tableware, the flatware, the linen, the silverware, the service is just incredible. So. And that's Holland America Line, which I'm a huge fan of. A 3-star Mariner, and so it's definitely worth it. Now, you know what? If you look over there, and you probably can't see it at this distance, there's a construction going on. And if you refer to my YouTube video on the Sheraton Nassau Beach, the Sheraton Nassau is like to the right of that structure over there that's being built. But that structure is supposed to be like a new casino hotel, and it's going to make the Atlantis look like a playground. And from what the gentleman told me at the Sheraton Nassau, that new hotel is just going to be off the chain. The Chinese are funding it. And if you get a chance, when talking about day passes, when you go to Nassau, please stop by the Sheraton Nassau. It's only about a $6 cab ride from the cruise port over there for $25 per person. They got a nice beach. They have bathrooms. You get towels. Now, if you want motorized water sports, you got to pay extra for the jet skis. But for the $25 per person, you get like kayaks and non-motorized stuff. you know, to play around with snorkels, stuff like that. Now they do have other vendors on the beach there, you know, if you want to rent other kind of stuff. But if you also want to like just get a hotel room for the day, it's like 99 bucks. So if you want to shower, take a nap, freshen up, and just, you know, kind of get away from the ship for a little bit, just to kind of take a break, it's definitely a good thing. So anyway, Scott Lara 1961 here on Twitter. Pulling into Nassau. I've been to Nassau, I can't tell you how many times. It's always nice to come in. Always good shopping here, you know, getting the alcohol. Today, going over to the Atlantis to do the water park over there, which will be fun. I've never done the water park before because of the cost. It's like $150, you know, per person for that water park. So, and over to my left here on the balcony, who do we have here? Where are y'all from?
Hello, California.
What part of California?
North of San Francisco.
Okay. Hi. How you liking the cruise so far?
Loving it. Awesome.
Now, how soon did you book this cruise? Like 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago?
Probably 6 months ago.
And what caused you to book the cruise?
We had some other friends going, and the local DJ is the one doing all the announcing here, and he's a friend of ours, and so we're country music fans.
Oh, wow.
Wanted to have a vacation.
Now, have you guys signed up for the next one? You know, down at the front desk, they're having...
We have not, but we will go next year.
Oh, good, good. We'll look forward to seeing you on there. Give me a shout out, give me a wave. Okay, good. Thanks so much. Totally putting my neighbors on the spot there, but I'm sure they enjoy being on YouTube with my 2 million followers. No, I'm just teasing. But let me ask you real quick while I got you out here, what about the artists? Have you enjoyed access to the artists?
We have. That's one of the bonuses here is they're just like normal tourists on the ship. They mingle with you. We've met so many of them, and it's been really wonderful how down to earth they are, and doing the late night when the shows are over, they all go and do a jamming session together, and to watch them interact with each other has been amazing. Amazing. It's like a big family to them.
Right.
It's been wonderful.
And thank you for having clothes on. I would hate to have interviewed you with like a bathrobe. So anyway, pulling into Nassau here, Scott Lara 1961 on Twitter. It's funny, I was actually tweeting back and forth with Blake Shelton, and so that was nice. Blake, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, people all the way from California, Alaska, coming to the Blake Shelton cruise. Just amazing to me. Now it's going to be interesting to see who else is in port today. If Oasis or Allure, or, you know, from Jacksonville to Fascination. But we'll take a look at that here shortly. So as I was saying about the Atlantis, yeah, 150 bucks for that pass to go to the water park, and I'm really looking forward to that. You know, get to go through the dig and that big slide and everything, so that'll be kind of interesting. And again, being here on a balcony, this is the fun part right here. Just being the stand out, look around, and see, you know, when you're leaving, when you're going, and it makes it really nice. Again, for your non-smokers out there, just be aware, you know, the guys to your left or the guys to your right may be smokers and be out there on the balcony because they smoke, because they want a smoke break. So just be aware of that. It doesn't look like anybody's here yet. I can't see off the port side, but Norwegian Pearl, like I said, very nice ship, very nice people, mostly Filipinos, some Indian folks here, but mostly Filipinos, very friendly, very kind. Just can't beat it. And, you know, about theme cruises, I just don't, I mean, theme cruises are just incredible. If you, let me say it this way, and I'm trying to see what ship that is over to my starboard side there. A theme cruise is so totally different than your normal cruise, and I love normal cruises, going out there, and you know, they have their own entertainment, and they're comedians and the show bands and everything. But what is so interesting is that there's a group of people, over 2,000 people on board the Norwegian Pearl, who all love country music. And you got the girls there with their boots, and you got the guys there with their cowboy hats, and it's a real family. And you could tell the artists just really thrive off that excitement of the audience. And last night, you'll see this video up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Neil McCoy was out there last night on the pool deck around 11:30 for a barbecue. And oh, buddy, I mean, just out there with the fans and high-fiving them and singing. And I don't think the security people really liked it all that much, but man, he was just having a blast. So a theme cruise, now let me tell you, a theme cruise is going to cost you 3 times as much as a regular cruise will. Like, let's say a regular 7-day cruise to the Caribbean, like Eastern Caribbean, like we just did, including like San Juan and St. Thomas, may run you, $6, $7.99. But this cruise, look at Blake Shelton cruise.com. It will tell you what the prices were. I mean, probably 3 times as much. But you've got to keep in mind, they've got to pay for the artists. They're paying for their cabins probably. They may be throwing in a couple cabins for their families. So, don't, throw a fit about, oh my gosh, this thing is so expensive. Everyone I've talked to on this ship during the 7-day Blake Shelton cruise has told me that it was certainly worth the money. They've really enjoyed it. And I want to say everyone I've talked to says they're going to do it again next year because it is just so exciting. And the chance to meet the stars up close and talk to them. The only person that really had a lot of security around him was Blake. They just weren't, the security people were not going to let Blake just run throughout the ship. So the artists are up there, deck 14, that Haven area. And I'll get some video of that too later today. But for the most part, like Easton Corbin, Lee Bryce, Neil McCoy have all been just like walking around the ship and drinking at bars with people and high-fiving. And as my neighbors there just said about the late night jam sessions, all these artists will get together and play and sing each other's songs, and it's just, I tell you, it's a memorable experience. So once we get, here we are, we're spinning, doing the 360, going to back in, which is kind of cool. Here's the Atlantis over there, which we'll be going to shortly. Myself and Nancy Shredder of Kid Travel are going to be running over there today. And I'll tell you, 2 words, sunblock. Guys, when you're out here in Nassau, St. Thomas, please don't forget the sunblock. You don't want to ruin your vacation by having a horrible sunburn. It's really bright out here, real sunny. There's Senior Frogs over there to my right. I went to Senior Frogs in San Juan, and they had free Wi-Fi, so we'll have to find out how long we're here till today. Maybe I can run over there and get some free Wi-Fi. So we're doing a 360 here. I remember one time Marty and I were here on the Carnival Fascination, and we pulled in before my daughter. She was on the Monarch of the Seas. She was with a couple of her girlfriends. And so we were just staying on the pier, and the Monarch did the 3. And of course, the Monarch getting ready to go out of service here. But Monarch just sat here, did the 360, and backed in, and so that's kind of cool. Amazing to me. I mean, I'm a Navy veteran. We didn't have the technology these modern cruise ships have. And of course, the Norwegian Pearl's about 6 years old. With these thrusters, just to be able to spin 360s is cool. And then their thrusters to ease them into port. And there's a couple different ships. See, one Carnival ship is there. There's another Carnival ship that's right behind us. So interesting to see if it's going to be the Fascination or Sensation, whatever Carnival ship's in port today. If Holland America's here, I'm going to see if I can jump on board that. If it's the Eurodam, I'm going to stow away on that. Well, pulling into Nassau, Scott Lyra 1961 on Twitter. Thanks for following me. Be sure to check out my blog at scottlyra1961.wordpress.com. I'll be uploading videos. It's on the right-hand side. You can just click the YouTube link there to show you all the videos from the Blake Shelton cruise and also commentary and so forth. Scott Lyra 1961 on Twitter. Peace.